welcome to you, all our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us on this brand new Baby on the Block, Leaps and Bounds, a Christian inspirational program that seeks to encourage, to motivate, to educate, but above all, to celebrate the many victories the Lord is working in our lives. My name is Zorodzai Mwakutuya. Now, on today's episode, we're showcasing the story of a cancer patient whose story is evidence of how the Lord is indeed working in our lives. Stay tuned.
In the year 2017, at the age of 36, Joy Mochaza, a mother of 3, was faced with a diagnosis most of us dread receiving, a form of cancer. After being widowed at a young age and left with 2 young children, her stars seemed to align when she happily remarried and planned to grow her family. Unbeknown to her, less than 2 years after welcoming her 3rd child, a visit to the doctor to examine a painless lump under her right arm would bring shattering news. A biopsy revealed her worst fears.
I was told that I was now in my early stage 3 of the cancer. It had affected my neck, it had affected my armpits, both sides, and now it was now affecting my large intestine. So he said, as long as it's now going there, we are now officially in stage 3.
Getting such news is undoubtedly a huge psychological blow, which is made worse by having to share it with loved ones.
My dad was just like, I just want you to survive. I hope God hears my prayers because the kids need you.
The oncologist who was treating her advised her that an aggressive approach was the best course of action as time was of the essence.
His response was, I'm going to be aggressive with this. I'm not going to take a chance. So he said, if you don't get treatment from now, you will have about 7 months. I'll give you 7 months to survive if you don't take the medication now. But if you do take the medication, your chances of conceiving are 0 to none. More like I had only 1% chance of having another baby. So he asked me how many kids I had, and I told him 3. Then he says, I'm not going to even ask your permission to say you want another child. Those are there. If you're not going to have any, you better embrace the 3 and live with that because your life is important. Those 3 kids will need you.
Cancer has emerged as one of the leading killers in Zimbabwe, with the high mortality rate attributed to lack of awareness, which leads to late diagnosis, as well as treatment, which is beyond the reach of most patients.
Having cancer is something that's very expensive to get treated. Most people lose the battle because of not having money to go through the whole treatment. But for me, I was lucky then. When I started chemo, I was on medical aid. And the medical aid said it would pay my whole cancer treatment without any shortfall. But for those that don't have money or who were not on medical aid, most people have lost the battle to cancer because of financial constraints in either completing the treatment or not even having the money to even start the treatment at all.
So walk us through the treatment process and the effect that it might have had on your body.
The effects of chemo was one, you have to lose your hair. That was the first effect that I've noticed. And then I had the change of color of my hands. They all turned black and my nails were all black. And you also have the loss of appetite. You don't really like to eat. The hair to me was nothing because hair always grows back, but life doesn't grow back. When you lose it once, it's gone for good. Yes.
To get through the debilitating effects, she looked for strength in the one thing that mattered most to her. Her mother's love for her children is fierce, and she will battle anything to be there for them. Joy Moore fought cancer, deriving motivation from those she had given life to, who now gave her a reason to hold on to her own.
I had set some goals for myself to say I don't want the short-term goals, but I set myself for the long-term because I wanted to fight it with a target, with a goal. So I targeted my daughter graduating university, and that was like 4 or 5 years later. and then also my son graduating. So I told myself I want to see all my kids graduate. So the only thing that I have to do is fight to make sure I go through those years to see them graduate. Because if I don't fight today, then I might as well say I'm dead, because I won't be able to see their graduations. So having a long-term goal that I set for the kids was more of it giving more energy to fight for another day. Every day that came, I had to fight for another day so that I end up seeing them graduating.
Such a trying time drove home the finite and fragile nature of human life.
From what I've picked up, it seems this has brought you so much closer as a family. You seem like you're now best friends and you can talk about literally anything with your children. Is that so?
We talk about anything now. What they want to ask, I've just told them, I'm your sister, I'm your mom, but I'm your sister, I'm your aunt. You can come and ask anything. Because to them, they've seen that life can be short. To them, they've seen that we could have lost our mom, but now we have our mom. We have to make the most of it. We've been given a second chance. This happened, but she fought through. With God's grace, she's still here. So we try to make the most of it when we are together.
Defying medical and scientific evidence, Joy Moore is now in the 3rd trimester of her 4th pregnancy.
I was told that I cannot have kids anymore. You know, the chances were very, very slim. Doctors can tell you this cannot happen. But when God says it's not going to close now, it will not close. Yes, the womb was not going to close because the doctor said it was going to close. So God had his own plan in his own time, because it's 3 years later and it was something that was not expected. It's a long time, but I wasn't expecting it. So to me, it became a miracle baby. Like, wow. Believe that you get better. Don't give up when you're told that you have cancer the first time. If you give up yourself, and then it will take control of your body. So you need to be in control of your body. So don't give up. Have faith. Pray. Anything is possible. It's nothing to say I cannot do this. It's another thing to say I can. But just have a positive mind that what I'm going through, somebody else has gone through it and has made it. So what can stop me from doing that?
Joy Moore's story is evidence of a loving father who takes the unwavering faith of his children, no matter how small, to unravel it into a phenomenal script, a God of second chances. Now, if you have been blessed by today's program, or you have a story that you would like to share with us, please do get in touch with us on the contact details showing on your screen. Until next time, God keep you safe and God bless.
Você Mountain